All
All
right.
right. All right. So the only way that people would find me in the beginning was through my videos. And I think that it's really cool that we have the opportunity to use video as a way to capture people's attention, but then also capture their heart. And today we're going to be talking about some of other tutors' favorite apps when it comes to creating videos, because there's lots of great tools that we can do. And we have some amazing people who have been creating videos. You're going to get to hear a little bit about their story and how they use videos to be able to work in their business. So I'm going to first introduce you to Jessica. Hello, Jessica.
Hey, Joanne.
So glad you are here. And Jessica she is a member of the Online Tutor Coach, and she helps other tutors learn how to use video inside of their business so that they can get found. Tell us what your experience
Yeah.
was like, Jessica, when you started using videos.
So I decided to make videos to support my business really during 2020. And it seemed like a lot of people were needing to be creative and find new ways to work from home. And I was already mostly working from home anyway, but I realized that as at the time, and really still a small business owner, I needed to do more, something to get the word out. And it needed to look like an online teacher. Like it didn't need to be like I didn't really want to post flyers. I'd done that, but I thought I need a way to be found from people from all over the US, from maybe different parts of the world. And I had a little bit of practice with creating videos like back in college. So I did a lot of research on YouTube, just watching video after video. And then I realized I had iMovie built into my laptop. So I thought, let me fiddle around with that and see how that will go. So I learned all these things. Like if you're wanting to have a business, you have to be comfortable talking about it. You have to repeat the value you offer over and over again. And so I made just a few videos at first that weren't about the tutoring business, but then I really niched down more to that. Now, if you're making videos about your business, it's not going to be like, you're probably not going to go viral in that way. Like YouTube could eventually be a source of income, like extra income that I would have liked. But I found that actually if you make videos on certain topics, parents can find you and they will become your paying clients. So you're kind of using YouTube to make money without having to worry about the ad space. And that
Mhm.
has worked, but it is hard, but it's fun. And I love helping and giving other tutors ideas because we're in front of our computer anyway. And if you really want to have your own business, you have to have that determination anyway. So you may as well just make a few videos about it.
Why not? Right? Yeah, absolutely. I remember that one of the first videos that I made, it was back at a time where I wanted to have an iPhone. I desperately wanted an iPhone. So this is like back in like 2000, 10. My husband was completely anti-Apple, and there was a contest going on. And the contest was to make a video speaking to your ideal client. Well, I guess you could probably guess what happened, but I won the iPhone and I won the contest, and I
Oh,
won professional, studio time as well, and that really inspired me in the beginning to really kick off, creating videos and get found, by my ideal client, and that's how I kinda began my journey, was winning this professional studio time and my own iPhone, I've never looked back. It's been my favorite way to be able to get in front of my audience. I don't like to sit and type and write over and over and over again, like, that's not I find that not always, the best use of my time. I feel like my best way to get out in front of people is through camera, and so I've been doing that, and a lot of times when people tell me I ask them, "How did you find me?" They say, "YouTube." I usually get YouTube or Google, like, those are the 2 places where people will find me, and you guys, I wanna help you guys, like, be everywhere. Like, when people search you up, I want them to find your stuff and be like, "Holy cow, she has so much stuff on this topic. This is amazing." And we've got Lori from Lori's Language Lab coming and joining us. Lori, tell us a little bit about your tutoring business.
I tutor adults that have relocated to the US, and I help close the gap between English that they might have learned in a classroom and the English that they need here in the US. And so a lot of times they have questions that the same or a student will have the same questions that other students have had. So I've made some videos about those questions, answering those of, like one is sports, one is getting your kids in school. And I was very hesitant at first to do videos because I would rather talk in person than on a video, but you have to.
Yes.
So I joined this group after I joined the Insiders Club, and it has been phenomenal what encouragement there is, what critiques we get that are helpful and encouraging along the way. So my videos at the beginning were very, very, very bad and nervous, but I think they're improving. So
Yes.
I can't wait for more and more people to see them.
I love that. And you know what? My videos at the beginning absolutely sucked as well. Guys, feel free, go onto my channel, go like just keep scrolling until you get to the very beginning because I've kept them all there so that you guys can see them. My lighting was
Yeah.
awful. My sound was terrible, but you know what? They still got me found and they still got me hired. And I think that's the big, I think this is the beautiful thing. Nobody expects people to be perfect when they first get started.
Mhm.
Knowing certain things ahead of time does help you succeed faster and feel more confident when you're creating your videos, but you guys, they don't have to be perfect in the very beginning, and this is what I love. So you guys, on next week on Monday at 12 o'clock p.m. Central, we're actually going to be holding a free training, and it's going to be how to hook your viewers attention in the first 5 seconds of your video, because here's what happens: if you do not hold your uh, viewers' attention, they will leave. And that is not what you want to happen. So just go to the link inside of the description of this video. You will see a link so that you can sign on up and be part of that free training. Our goal is just to get it started so that you guys can see like how powerful this can really be. Well, Claire, you have also been creating videos as well. And I'm curious, tell everybody a little bit more about your tutoring business and what your experience has been like with videos.
Okay, so my name is Claire Tong. I tutor math online, as you can see from my description. My YouTube channel is the same name, Claire Tong Tutor Math Online. I help students ages 11 and up achieve their own goals in math, whether it be building a strong foundation or getting outstanding grades or preparing to study in post-secondary. Um, I went to the training that Joanne just mentioned about how to hook your viewers in the first 5 seconds. And I ended up learning more about video in a course that Jessica actually taught.
Mhm.
In the beginning, for me, it was super difficult to speak on camera at all because I would just be like, and then not know what to say. But I think over the past year of just practicing, I have managed to find my voice, and I'm always finding new ideas of what I want to say on YouTube nowadays.
Yeah, it all starts with getting started, doesn't it? Because once you start to get started, the ideas begin to flow, and all of a sudden you're starting to think about, oh, what could be useful to help me, to help other people? What else could I share about? What else could I create? And I do think that this is so, so helpful for people. So, oh my gosh, that is so exciting. I remember when you first came into our community, being more on the shyer side, a little bit more reserved, really, really good at what you do, but just, when I saw that you were, like, showing up on video, I'm like, "That's my girl." Like, "Yes, you do it." Like, you don't have to have this, like, bubbling personality that's all over the place in order for people to hear the message that you share, right? And we can all grow and we can all learn and we can become more confident as time goes on. And I just been loving seeing the videos that you've been creating. So kudos to you. Amazing, amazing. So many tutors are so afraid for people to see what they look like, for people to see, um, their if they get lost in words, or they just don't sound right, or all that kind of stuff. They're really scared about that kind of stuff. And so it holds them back from making that first video. And just so you guys know, it doesn't have to be perfect. And as long as you guys can just get started, continue to learn what you need to learn, when you need to learn it, you will continue to be successful. And that is something I've put into practice with my business. What is the next thing that I need to learn so I can get better? And you guys may decide that video is that very next thing. Now, I'd love to know from you guys that are watching right now, have you created any videos to get the word on out there about your business? We're going to be sharing some of our favorite apps, and we're going to kind of go round table here. I'm just going to go around and just see, okay, what is one app, so that everybody has a chance to kind of share one of their favorite tools for creating videos. We're going to start with Lori. Lori, what is one of your favorite apps that you use to be able to create videos?
I use WeVideo
Mm-hmm.
to do editing because editing is amazing. When you're nervous about making the videos, the editing is the best part. You can just cut out all of those, and when you mess up on the words.
Mm-hmm.
And also you can add little titles in there or other information, and it doesn't just have to be you talking or doing something exciting. You can
Right.
add other things.
Yes, I do love that. And they have like videos that you can add inside of there. You can have music attached inside of there. All of those uhs and ands, you can cut all of them out.
Mhm.
And it can make you seem that much more professional because of that. And I know, Jessica, you mentioned that you just used the tool in the beginning that you had on your computer. So you used iMovie in the very beginning. So it's not like you need to have decked out gear right out of the
Mhm.
gate in order to be able to create these videos. You were able to use what you had for free in front of you as well to be able to edit. And the editing process is very similar inside of iMovie, inside of WeVideo. So if you don't have iMovie, let's say you're not a Mac user, you're a Windows user, definitely check out WeVideo, and you'll be able to start creating your own video immediately inside of that tool. Sarah, what's one of your favorite tools?
Okay, so for me, I'm actually a bit of a creative, like I like art, and I've done a lot of photography and a little bit of video editing. I was actually first introduced to video editing by a wedding photographer who I worked with, and he hired me for $50 to edit a wedding video that he shot on a GoPro. Like he had a GoPro in one hand and a camera in the other hand, and that was the video that I edited. Um, he taught me to use Premiere Pro, which is not
Okay.
exactly a starter application at all. It's a professional one.
Right.
But because I have this kind of interest in video editing, I've been using that, and I find it a lot of fun.
Yeah. It is a lot of fun to be able to create the videos. And so there's lots of tools that are out there, specifically when it comes to creating those videos, and the different kinds of apps that we can use. We have lots of choices, you guys. But definitely take a look at those three if you're getting started and you want to take a look. We've got, from free to paid to more advanced, all of those options that are on there. Now, what app do you guys use when you're actually creating your video? Um, what app do you use to be able to create it? Jessica?
So apps are really specific things to a platform. So what I did was, I'll just kind of start from the beginning. So I also made videos with my iPhone for a while, and sometimes I still will, but I eventually love the idea of getting like a better camera. So like the camera I'm using now, I don't like, I like to shoot with that, but the sound, like you start thinking about these things like, oh, if I get a better camera, I need a microphone that's specific to the camera, because like the phone doesn't connect to my camera. So there's all these things. But
Mhm.
Oh gosh, hold on, something happened here. All right. Um, so of course there's iMovie, but there's all these little things you can do. You can create graphics and add them into your video editing platform. So whatever you're using, Premiere Pro, WeVideo, iMovie, or something else entirely, it's great to have other websites that you can go to create a few things that you can use over and over again. So Canva is one of our best friends. And I think we all know that from using, creating our website and all that. So Canva, you can create graphics that are the correct size, and just as you film something, like you write a script, you film it, or you shoot here little pictures and b-roll here and there. Once you put them all together, it's like a puzzle, and you realize, oh hey, I need a graphic that has my website on it, my phone number, the name of the next class I'm promoting. So you can drop that into your video. Like you can be talking on camera, and then suddenly you start talking about the new class you're hosting. Then suddenly the graphic drops in, and that's a call to action. And that tells people, hey guys, check out this graphic below. I've got a website here. This is going to lead you to exactly where you need to go. Here's what your student is going to be learning, da, da, da. And people they're not going to be overly picky about, like, your graphic needs to be clear and look nice. But other than that, when we meet for a video mastermind, we talk about something that will look good, but we're busy teaching. So you have to use just your editing tool, your camera or your phone, or even Zoom, like record yourself in Zoom, and then make a few things in Canva and just use that for a while, because you have to use what you know. And then the next step is meet with people who know what they're doing, or just people who can encourage you. Then you can start adding more tools to your tool belt. And I have a list of things here, but I'll let the others tell what we've talked about in our meetings, because like you could spend forever editing, but it's not, I mean, I could spend 8 to 12 hours on a video editing it, but I can't really do that when I have hours of tutoring during the week,
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I love that. And what a great point that Canva is a great tool to create those visuals for your video. Also, there is some simple, and they've actually improved upon it. You can actually do uh a lot of the video editing even inside of Canva. It's something that they're constantly improving. So that is another tool. Like, let's say you do have Canva Pro, then instead of purchasing another resource or another tool, try playing with some of the video editing features inside of there. You can cut, you can make things bigger, you can cut out the beginning, you can cut out the end, you can add visuals, you can add music, you can do all of those things now right inside of Canva. And like I said, they keep making it even better inside of there. Lori, when you're creating your videos, what is your first tool that you use to actually like shoot the video?
I use my phone
Nice.
still.
I love it. I love it. So you're using the camera app on your phone to be able to create and shoot that video. How about you, Clara? What do you
Right.
use?
I'm also using my iPhone
Oh,
8.
okay. Awesome. So lots of people using their phones. I use Zoom. So I'm using Zoom right now, you guys, and I actually just I will just use the video that I have here. I download that video and I upload it inside of WeVideo, and then I cut it. So lots of different choices for you guys. If you already have Zoom, that's one resource that you can use. You could use the app right on your phone. And you also have the ability to create videos a lot of times right on your computer as well. So you can take a look at that and see what tools are there. I also use another tool called OBS. OBS allows me to create a video like that in a snap, and it downloads immediately to my computer so that I can immediately upload it to whatever editing tool that I want to be able to use. And I absolutely love it. All right. You had talked about earlier, Jessica, creating a script. So I'm curious, like I know that there are tools out there that actually turn into teleprompters. Has anybody used a teleprompter tool? Nobody? Okay. Yes, Lori?
I tried, and uh, I read too much. It was not natural.
Yeah,
My
yeah, yeah.
eyes were like,
It is so important. Like, I actually had to build a stand for my
Mhm.
teleprompter. So there's an app that's called the teleprompter app on your phone that you're able to utilize, and you can just take a Google Drive document. You just take that document, you cut and paste it right inside of the teleprompter, and boom, it's right there. You just find out what speed is gonna be the right speed for you, but you have to make sure the big secret is the camera needs to be behind the the app needs to be right behind the video that's taking your video. Your eyes
Mhm.
need to still be pretty close to where that is, like you're looking right at that camera so that it doesn't look like you're reading a script. And if you are
Mhm.
reading a script, some people they like to like put it on their computer. Here's what happens when I'm reading off my computer. Notice what happens to my head? I'm looking
Right.
down, right? When you're looking down and you're on the computer, a lot of people will think that you're looking down on them. And so it's really important. I used to have people tell me, like, if I was doing that, because I used to do that, people would be like, "I feel like you're, like, looking down on me when you do that." And I was like, "Oh, that was not my intention." They want you to look directly at the camera. So if you can get that teleprompter to be right with the camera, it's great. It's great for those like, I find it really hard to do short videos. So if I write out exactly what I'm gonna say, I practice it, and then I put the teleprompter behind there, boom, I can pull out, like, a quick video, 30 seconds or less without over talking. Jessica, have you ever used anything like that before?
The teleprompter thing, it sounds good in theory, but it's really not my style. So I actually sometimes do things the harder way because I just want to experiment. So if we all pick a topic, let's say next week we're going to talk about the I don't know, like recent accomplishments of our students. And I might say, I want to tell about 3 different students who have improved over the past 2 months. So that's what the whole thing's about. So I'll either write a bulleted list and just put that underneath my camera and I'll just push record and start talking. And there's a lot of mistakes in that. So I go through and edit, or you can look at something and memorize it, sort of, and then look, like read it and then look up and say, guys, my name is Jessica. Today I want to tell you about my newest student, Ronald, who has absolutely mastered his, he's learning stems and vocabulary, whatever that is. Or I will I map it out to where parts of my video will be the talking head like this, just me
Mhm.
talking to the camera. And then other parts it cuts to something else that I filmed that's relevant to what I'm talking about. So, and those parts are nice because then when I know, okay, this part's just going to have my voice, not my face, I have the freedom to look down or make weird faces, and that's okay. So I mix it up. And some people, it takes longer to think about that. Like it's okay to just have videos where you're just talking like this, or
Mhm.
your screen sharing during, like if you're showing where to go on a certain website, how to use Google Classroom. Your image is small anyway. So
Mhm.
that's what I do. And I find that if I do write too much, my writing is better than my talking, like because I've had time to think it through and organize my thoughts. But I just think the natural sounding videos, like me talking right now, I know it doesn't sound perfect, but I would rather watch a video of somebody speaking in a natural state than like reading a script because you can tell. So you have to try all the things first. Do the script, do
Mhm.
the bulleted point, hey, I'm just winging it, I'm vlogging, I'm talking about what it's like to teach from my home office today. Try all that, and then you have to pick what's best for you and what's most efficient. So for me, it's kind of a mixture of things.
Mhm. Yeah, I definitely do think, like, there's not one solution for every single person, so trying out those different methods for yourself and seeing what is gonna, like, do it each of the different ways, but definitely be planned in what it is that you're going to say versus trying to wing it. I've not seen too many people that are winging it that do, like, the most perfect, wonderful videos, so you definitely want to at least plan out what it is that you're going to talk about or say. Now, you talked about screen sharing. Do you use anything for screen sharing specifically?
So I have usually found that Zoom is easy for that. So like when I've made videos for courses and I need to do that, like it's faster for me to use Zoom. Like I immediately go to screen share, and then what matters is the content I'm showing, not so much my face, but I know that you can use OBS, and there are things like that that look a little more professional because some people are bothered by a disembodied voice. If I'm showing someone how to use Google Drive, they still might want to see my face down in the corner, like, hey, it's me. I'm still here.
Hmm.
So it's just quicker for me to do that, just to screen share and on and off,
Hmm.
because you can mix it up with, here's my face talking. I'll say, I'm going to go and show you what's next. And then boom,
Hmm.
I've cut to the website. And then that's the part that people are going to rewatch over and over again anyway. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I use too, like when it comes to screen sharing and Zoom. And there's again, there are lots of different apps that you can use for that. If you already know how to use something, stick with that in the beginning. And if you want to continue to learn something or it's not working the way you want it to work, then you can start taking a look at and diving into other things that will help you with the screen sharing aspect of that. Any other tools so far that you can think of that pop out to you guys right away that you use when it comes to creating your videos? Yes, music. We definitely use music inside of there. And there are music, we have to be real tricky with music, don't we, Jessica?
Yeah. So a lot of us have just found free music that it's already built into our editing tools. And then what I'm always showing everyone is YouTube has free music that you're allowed to use. So like not an artist that I can't play like Elton John music in there in my videos. That even you wish you could play things that you're familiar with, but you have to pick things that are, what is that, like non-copyright or something. And you can, there is something I was using on and off called Epidemic Sound, where creators are like using more sophisticated music making tool, like editing, mixing, and all that. And you'll find some really neat tracks, especially like holiday themed or relaxing themed or inspiration. There's all these funny words to explain the music, but you can also go into YouTube Studio and just listen to a few tracks, and they're MP3s, and you just download them, and you you only use them to enhance the video. You don't have to have music. It's just like it just unlocks more of your creative side. So you have to turn the music down low. Like right now, if I'm talking, I don't want background music to be distracting or weird, because sometimes you'll grab a song and it's like there's too much of a drum beat to it or clapping sound, and you're like, always imagine watching your own video and think, would I want to watch this? Because if there's anything weird or distracting, we have to remove that. So the music thing is helpful, but we always talk about how to use it, when to add it, and lower the sound. And it is important, but it takes some practice to use it.
Just I always lower my sound down to 1, between 1 and 3. Like, it's that low,
Mhm.
whenever I'm editing because otherwise it just sounds too loud and overpowering. So, um, take a look and play with those different sounds and see which one sounds good, and even ask other people for their opinions on that because we might be listening to it and we've already heard what we had to say so many times, right? That when we add the music onto it, we're focusing on the sound of the music and it might be just a little bit too loud and kind of uh making it so that people can't hear what it is that you're saying, and you don't want that definitely to happen. So some apps are the Epidemic Sound. You can use the YouTube Studio that has some different soundtracks inside of there. We Video does have soundtracks inside of there, especially if you have the paid portion of We Video. But you do want to be careful that if you upload it into YouTube, they may or may not say that there's music inside of this video that you can't use.
Mhm.
So, unfortunately, these rights that the music people have, sometimes they are reselling their stuff to other people, and now somebody else does hold the copyright to that, even though at one point it didn't have a copyright on there. So, know that those kinds of things are happening all of the time, and all I do is if that happens, I take down my video, I re-upload with a different song on there and see if that works. And if it does, we're good to go. And if we don't, then I find another song, or then I would just go to YouTube, or maybe I'll nix the song altogether and not even bother with it. So those are just a couple of things that you can do as well. Anybody else get their music from any other spots?
I usually use WeVideo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a great safe choice in the beginning for sure. For sure. Canva now has audio as well. So if you are doing any adding music inside of there, you can actually search for music inside of there to add to your video, and they also will have the same copyright, laws um, as we video. So again, some of it may be or may not be allowed inside of YouTube. So for the most part, you're safe, so I don't wanna scare you guys from using it. For the most part, you're safe, but if you ever do get that little thing saying, um, there's a copyright infringement on the music you're using, just change that music, and you're good to go. Um, any other apps that you guys use?
I'm wanting to look into something called storyboard because some people might need something that it's like frame by frame, like a way you can drop film into. It's a little bit like using iMovie on the phone. So let's say if you have a Windows computer and you haven't explored any other cloud-based editing tool, you can just film with your phone and play around with iMovie on your phone. And you can, as long as you get used to it, there is a learning curve, but after like a couple hours of playing or watch some tutorials on YouTube about how to use it, it's it's just it's just as effective, especially if we're not here to be filmmakers unless you really like that and make that your hobby. Use iMovie to cut things down. You can still add graphics and like have the words pop in and out. Sometimes it's almost better. So I know some of us are more comfortable with a computer. Some of us can do everything and anything on our phones. So that's something else we're going to explore. There's always something new to look up. And if no one in the group knows how to do something and we want to, we'll eventually get to that. So like there's something called storyboard. And I feel that there's always some way to spend more time with video. So you've got to be careful about you want to spend time educating yourself, but you can get clients without getting incredibly fancy with video. Like
Mhm.
the people that are finding me, they're not saying, "Yeah, I noticed that, your music was slightly loud at minute 55." Like that never happens.
Right, right,
So
right, right.
you've got to create something that's easy on the eyes and ears. It's just, you have your standards increase over time. So you reward yourself. Like eventually, if if you spend some time learning something new, like, hey, I downloaded a new font. Oh, there is something. If you want, you can change the font that appears, like the style, like from defont.com. You can download that just like you would download it to Google Drive
Mhm.
and create your own signature style. So maybe you use big, bold font and then you use some of the same 3 or 4 music tracks in every video, and that's okay because then you have a
Mhm.
formula to use if you need to just write a script and you're like, I can't spend 8 hours on this video, so I'm just going to use this song, this, and I'm gonna look at my paragraphs that I've written and then hit record and just film and edit out any mistakes.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. Well, what about places to go to put your videos? What resources and tools have you used to get the word out there about your video? We've talked a lot about YouTube. Anybody using video in any other social media apps to share what you are doing with your business?
We started doing this on Google My Business.
Ah, yes,
You
great.
can put video on there, 30
Mm-hmm.
seconds, 75 MB. I don't see a lot of other businesses putting video on there. They have a lot of photos, but not many videos, so it could
Yeah.
help you stand out.
Absolutely. What a great piece of advice on there. I definitely don't have a video on there, so I'm gonna be taking that advice and throwing one on there because I think it does make a huge difference when people get to see your video of you versus just see images of you, right? It has a whole different meaning. Any other places people are putting their videos?
Instagram.
Mhm. Yeah, that's a big one. Instagram's got the videos and Facebook has, you can add your videos inside of there. Even your LinkedIn
Right. Yeah.
profile page, you can add uh, it gives you a place to add example videos inside of there. And so you can definitely add a Facebook, a LinkedIn video because it says, can you share like a piece of your work? And you can upload a video right there and people can see that video. So you can be speaking directly to again, your ideal client and have that opportunity to do that. And of course, we can't forget our website, right? Because a website it's like we want to have them coming to our website and really getting to meet us. If we just kind of sit there and just have like all these stock images and we're saying the same exact thing as every other tutor that's out there. It doesn't help us stand out, but a video helps us all stand out. So think about using that on your website and as well. What kinds of tools have you guys used to create your website?
I mean, I've used what you've used. I've used Wix. And so you can put a video link into your website. There's different ways. I was going to mention that if you want to create courses, like some people in the group may eventually want to create courses for their students. So you use another platform, like you have Kajabi or Podia. I have
Mm-hmm.
that subscription. So whatever, when you make your video, it becomes an MP4 and you put it's either on your hard drive or external hard drive. So then you pick a video or two to upload and you have it on your website, but over time you have to go and update that, right? Because even the video I have now, I'm like, oh, the office area behind me I've remodeled, so I'm like, I should make another video. And if you want your website video to be like most of the time we're using YouTube just because the search engine is so powerful and it's really easy to just grab that link and share it in an email with somebody or post
Mm-hmm.
it on Facebook. That's how that'll work. Or you're live streaming on a Facebook and YouTube at the same time. But um what was that we use? Vimeo, you can put that's just another video platform that if you want to put videos there, like Vimeo can host your video, but you put it on your website. I don't know if everybody knows what that means, but you might not want your website welcome video to be on your YouTube page. Mine is, but it doesn't really need to be. It's it depends on what you're talking about. But it is nice if you're a person who's made videos to promote your business. Some of those are going to be on your website. People are going to look at that and say, "Oh, I really like this." Even if it's just like you talking and images of you working at your laptop or showing the books that you use to teach or your whatever teaching tools you use, parents are really interested. The good quality clients are really interested in that.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And there's another app that you can use, you guys, so that like if you're ever I use Gmail, and I've added an app at the bottom for a signature called Wise Stamp. Wise Stamp allows you to have a video link inside there so people can click right on your video as well so that they can click to it. So I've got like reviews that I've done with just what parents have had to say about my tutoring services, and that goes at the bottom. I have a picture of myself. It actually flips back and forth between two different uh, me in 2 different poses. It kinda looks cool. It looks like I'm kinda flipping back saying hi. And then I have a signature on there with that video so they can click on that and go right to my YouTube channel. So, that's another app that you can kinda add on into the mix as well. Now, one of the most important things, you guys, is we don't wanna spend this time creating resources for people to find for nobody to actually find them, right? So, one of my favorite tools for SEO is Uber Suggest. I absolutely love being able to find out what are people actually typing into the Google search bar and trying to figure out how much content already exists out there and can I get found if I create a video for that content. So it saves me a lot of time. If the purpose of creating this video.
You froze for a moment. I heard you. I think everybody did, but it was slightly, you may have like glitched for a second. So you're asking about Uber Suggest, like any of the SEO.
Mhm.
Um, we at this point, a lot of us have some favorite keywords that we think are help us become more searchable. So you can plug all those into YouTube and like in your settings, meaning every time you post a new video, those keywords will, I guess, populates the word, like it'll attach itself to your videos. And I know that's how I've been found before, because especially if you're making videos about certain things that people are interested in, like homeschooling curriculum has been a winner for me, or really that's been like the main way. So whatever your main emphasis is, like I think by now, if people have watched your videos, they know you can't just put math as your keyword or homeschooling, because that's like a needle, that's like a grain of sand, so you have to say like Saxon math tutor or whatever that is, because somebody out there is actually looking for what you offer. You just have to keep putting all the keywords in or coming to your sessions where you talk about SEO.
Mhm. Yeah. SEO is really the beautiful, beautiful thing. I actually learned it before I even started tutoring. I began learning all about search engine optimization, and that really changed everything. I was able to get clients in Australia and clients in the UK and all of that because they were able to find my videos based off of those searches. And I know that the research that I did to find those right keywords really, really worked. So that is one of my sweet spots when it comes to being able to get content found is how could you use search engine optimization to your benefit so that you guys can get found. Anybody else use any other tools for figuring out what their title is going to be? Another one that I use, you guys, is Title Generator. It's title-generator.com. And Title Generator is great for when I can't figure out how to say something in an exciting way, right? Like you just get like, okay, I'm going to be talking about, let's say, videos. All right. Do I just want to call it videos? No. What I want to say about videos, right? Well, I can type it into title generator and I can get some great ideas for how can I state it. And that really helps me then to create that eye-catching title that people are going to want to click on because if you don't spend some time on that title, you may have people who never click on it. So use Canva so you have a good thumbnail image.
Mhm.
Make sure that you go on in, you edit that video using the different apps that you have, and add any kinds of things that will add some fun to your video, and make sure to use those keywords. And I think these are some really great tools that if you guys stick to some of this stuff, you take a look at some of these boards. That'll be fantastic. Yeah, somebody just mentioned that they use they're able to post their videos on TikTok. Obviously, TikTok is a huge place where you can be able to go there, and your students are on TikTok. That is for sure. Yes, there's another great tool called TubeBuddy. Tell us about that one, Jessica.
When I was doing all that research about how to start a YouTube channel and what looks good and what people will watch and all that. So TubeBuddy was one. And so I downloaded, it was just like a plugin, so or Chrome extension. And that means anytime I'm using YouTube, if I come up with the title, it'll tell me like, it'll give me a score, like how searchable this title is. And I have used it some, but because it's not like it's tough with like online tutoring and teaching because we're not making a lot of flashy videos just to get views. We're really specific about what we teach. So you do have to pick something that's exciting, like an exciting title, but it's not misleading. So YouTube Buddy is worth exploring and looking into. We haven't talked a lot about it as a group because we're a lot of what we're doing is planning and like forming our video and like putting it together and knowing what to say. And then being found is like the next challenging step. But I tell them that you just do as much as you can. You're biting off a little bit at a time.
Mhm.
So the paid version of TubeBuddy will tell you more, and it'll give you like suggested keywords in there as well. So I've used it before, and then I think I used it until I thought, okay, I've used it as much as I can, unless I really want to invest in it and like just spend more time with the channel. But
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. They also populate some of those different like categories that you can get found for. So the different tags and stuff, it can be really helpful for that piece of it. We had a question. Somebody asked, are hashtags helpful in YouTube? Now you want to be careful with hashtags because your goal isn't to send people to other people's videos, right? So think about what have you created a ton of videos on? So for me, I create a ton of videos with Joanne Kaminsky. Okay. So Joanne Kaminsky can be a hashtag. And if they do hashtag Joanne Kaminsky, you're going to find all of my videos and it's going to keep you searching through me. But if I do a hashtag like I would on, let's say, Instagram, right? And I'm like, oh, let me take a look at all the hashtags other people are using. I am now sending them potentially to other channels versus sticking with me. So I've used like the word tutorpreneur in some of my videos. So if they actually clicked on like hashtag tutorpreneur, they would just see me. They wouldn't see a whole bunch of other people. So think about like what makes you unique and what's a hashtag that you could kind of start so that people will just, maybe it's your business name. Maybe it's, hashtag JPEZ tutoring, right? And so then they
Mhm.
click on that hashtag and they just see videos from JPEZ tutoring. Think about it more that way in YouTube. You would think that social media would be like every single social media tool would work exactly the same. And this is why it's so important for you guys to get to know all of the different platforms and become familiar and understand how they work. They don't all work the same. And so if I use hashtags inside of Instagram, you're golden. You're good. Like you can use up to like 30 hashtags. Nobody is going to call the cops on you. Nobody's going to flag you. You're all good. But think about using 30 inside of LinkedIn. It is not going to go well for you, my friend. It is not going to go well for you. Try doing it any other place and it just isn't going to work. You do it on YouTube, you're starting to send people off to all these different places, right? So think about one hashtag that you could be found for that when they click on that your stuff comes on up and they continue to find your stuff. So that's always your goal. You want to keep them on your channel, watching your videos as long as possible. So thanks you guys so much for all of the tips and suggestions that you have on different apps. Definitely come join us for the free training that we have. The link is in the description. Just go to onlinetutorcoach.com/hook, HOOK, and you'll be able to sign up for our free training that we are hosting on Monday, 12 o'clock p.m. Central, where we're going to teach you how to hook your viewer in the first 5 seconds of watching your video. Because if you don't hook them there, they're off and they're going to watch something else. Thanks for joining us today, and we will see all of you guys later. Bye, everyone.